seconds remaining.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Fallout Gaming Major
5
All-Stars
seconds
Tournament.
remaining.
And we are in the North American qualifiers, and we are in the finals here. A best-of-5
time.
matchup between Team eHug and Fire Dota. Fire Dota just took down a very nice victory on the back of a Wisp tiny setup with Fluff and Ush, but of course you have to give credit to Demon with those nice little setups at the end of the game with the hook shot. Fucking Mad was always right there, building up a nice little Necro book, and of course Brax with the burst damage on his Zeus. But eHug looking to bounce back with their all-star Yawar player and company. So without further ado, let's get the game underway. I am KotLGuy bringing you the English coverage over here on Beyond the Summit, and I got my good buddies back with me. I got Blaze casting as well as Cart Dota on the stats. Blaze, very dominating game from Fire, but maybe we're hoping for eHug to look to bring one back. We want more Dota. We want to take this all the way to a full 5-game series.
Yeah, would love to see that. Really highly competitive. I don't know. Ush was calling it yesterday 3-0, so we'll see if he Babe Ruths that one or if it's just going to be a highly contested match as we'd love to see. But in either case, we saw an amazing performance from Fire Dota, specifically Fluff's Wisp, and that is going to be banned out. And subsequently, the Tiny isn't really on the field anymore. But it is actually pretty interesting to see this opener here. Fire first picking the Sniper. They don't play Sniper all that often, but eHug, they played it multiple times in the past even dozen games. They put Infinity on this hero very frequently and kind of using it as a denial pick as they ban out Axe, Bat Rider, they go with the Sniper, and eHug, they don't want that clock Sniper synergy. So instead, they're going to be the ones jumping the gun. They're going to be the ones jumping on the little Dwarf fan, and they have two great heroes to do it with.
With that, it's just so... You see why it's a risk to try to get a Sniper first pick. Clockwork and Storm, these guys, they're the definition of gap closers. You couldn't ask for anything more. You might as well have the ability to teleport on the head of Sniper at that point. It's ridiculous.
That's your RQ right there. It's bound to his face.
So they desperately will need some frontliners. They need ways to break the engagements. Earthshaker is a phenomenal support to do so. I mean, he could put himself already in a corner, and when you think you have a solid, easy grab on someone like the Sniper, Earthshaker just ruins your parade, or rains on your parade, rather, with a big Fisher. So they will need that. They will need the space creation, and, well, we'll see what they decide to do with that. I'm feeling maybe Demon could be finding his place back onto something like a Tidehunter here if they kind of want to make sure they have people to set the stage, maybe with the big Ravage grab. But other than that, still a lot of formidable options, so we'll have to see. Do you know, I wonder, though, for Sniper on Fire, I assume right off the bat it's probably Brax, a mid-lane Sniper player. Is it crazy to think that they could go for Ush on the Drow? Is it just that absurd to have so much crazy ranged right-click?
I think that would leave them extremely vulnerable to the same things that countered the Sniper in the first place. You don't want both your heroes extremely susceptible to getting just ganked like crazy. One Orchid on a Storm Spirit destroys everyone. No, you want to be able to kind of round out your lineup and not open up your weaknesses just that widely. But Skywrath coming out, a lot of burst nuke. Yeah, they just want to keep that teamfight control. If they can create and throw enough meat on the front lines here, if they can just create enough space for the Sniper to get actual right clicks off in the fight, who would have thought, then I think they could actually put out a lot of good damage. So the Tide, he's going to put out some good Ravages. Anchor Smashes aren't too shabby either. And you already mentioned the Earthshaker counter initiation. So it's all about just putting Sniper where he wants to be in the fight and everybody revolving around him, putting people in front of him, jumping people behind the enemy lines, and just making... obviously, Fire want to facilitate his potential as much as possible. eHug raining on his parade. The Disruptor and the Lions are going to be the bans for him. They think the Disruptor and Lion are going to be a little bit too difficult to deal with alongside the Earthshaker in the laning phase. Getting a lot of work done, especially against that Storm Spirit. You get a Hex, you get a Static Storm. That's a really tough Storm Spirit game. And although, of course, we know Infinity runs the solo mid for the most part, you got to wonder if the Storm Spirit runs in Yawar's family.
Yeah, right. I'm curious with that as well. More than likely, I'm anticipating Infinity to do it, and they keep Yawar more of that core farming position. Now, I was going to say, this seems like the formula where we could see another fucking Mad Enigma, but then you risk something like a Rubik that could be snagged. Well, before I can even get to that thought, Rubik's snagged first and foremost, and they are still ballsy enough to take the Enigma anyways. So Rubik, mouth-watering, I'm sure, under that fancy little mask, but he has got a plethora of steal options here. Fissure, Tidehunter's Ravage, Black Hole, obviously. It's pretty nice for them. But they could still get that Yawar hero now on eHug. And Morphling seems to be the most appetizing choice that's still available. They could look to ban that out right here. We'll see.
So I actually really like the fact that the Rubik pick was preempted. They were like, okay, they might be going for the Enigma, and they definitely have a lot of good tools to steal already. Sniper, actually all 4 of them are actually pretty solid. Shrapnel, Fissure, Ravage, Black Hole, all very, very good spells to steal, and that actually puts a lot of the games on the shoulders of the Rubik player. Whichever support picks it up, I believe it'll be Triumph, but could be Ryuza for all we know, will be having a lot on their shoulders. They have to do a lot of work in this scenario because if they can get those big steals off, I mean, they could nullify a lot of the merits of a lot of these picks from Fire. But if he just, picks up a couple of lackluster spells, if he ever steals Enchant Totem, then yeah, you're going to be having a pretty sad game.
I'm very nervous for this sniper in the mid lane. They're committing Enigma to do his dire rotation of jungle work. Earthshaker's going to be split already between probably helping out the top lane with whatever Ush could get, which that means maybe Ush gets something that he could play very safe with. He has played anti-mage from time to time. He's one to play the Naga and stuff like that. But, with that, Sniper could be pretty susceptible. You're talking about Skywrath Mage Rubik over here for eHug. That is potentially a lot of early aggressive movement who are going to be constantly moving in Fire territory, and you really need to make sure you have defenses ready. 5th pick, though, going to be popping up here for eHug. I'm still anticipating Infinity on the Storm, so Yawar's pick to come here. They banned out the PA. I already said Morphling as an option. Any other cores that really standing out to you? I know he's also played a Naga himself, but I don't know if it's going to be a Naga kind of a game.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It really depends on how late the game they want this to go, because although the bans seem to indicate that they expect Yawar's hero to come and Brax's hero to come, Juggernaut. Yeah, I would have to say that, if you look at the history, there's a lot of potential for them to flip-flop these roles. Yawar has played Storm 3 times, Ush has played Sniper 5 times, but yeah, we're going to see it here. The Juggernaut to come on through. Infinity is going to be around this. Yawar is a Storm player. He has played Storm 3 times competitively, 1 win, 2 losses, and we'll have to see how it fares. But I like the pretty snap grab from Bristleback, and he's another hero that can really get on the front line. Their main goal, I think, is to make sure that Infinity doesn't get to Omni-Slash the Sniper. If they can at least accomplish that, they can probably manage around the Storm the clock.
I am open to all the versatility and flexibility these teams want to do. Obviously I was anticipating the Brax Sniper. It's going to be Ush. And, of course, if we get to see a Yawar Storm Spirit, and if it's anything like a Sumail Storm Spirit, I'm happy. I'm happy to call that wrong. So with that, it looks like we're going to be getting underway. There's your 5-on-5 matchup here for game number 2 of this best of 5. We are in the North American Qualifier Finals of the Major All-Stars, and it's a $100,000 prize pool up for grabs, which will be crowdfunded. If you want to show your support, you can go in the Dota store right now and get yourself a ticket. Comes with a fancy Lycan set, so you don't go away just with the ticket alone, but with that, you can go on Dota TV and, well, do your own camera work if you'd like to. But it looks like we're going to need one moment here for Fire as we get started. So, Blaze, we have both drafts underway here. Based on now, you see the possible change-ups as far as who's playing what. Do you have any wages as far as who's got the upper hand as far as drafts go?
That's a tough call, honestly. I think it really depends on how well Brax's laning phase goes. We know what the Sniper is going to accomplish in the hands of Ush. We know a lot of what we're going to expect from a lot of these players and a lot of these heroes. But the wild card for me is if the Bristleback has a really good laning stage, he can start actually building up some good defensive items that'll help out the team. And if this Rubik has some really good spell steals, that's going to be a bit of a wild card towards the mid game. If he can get the tremendous spell steals, he can change the game in their favor. And if Triumph kind of just has an average game, then it might not be what they need. For now, they're actually going for a full smoke invade, and I'm actually not sure about this because you are up against a Sniper, one of the better heroes for kind of a level 1 engagement with those 3 shrapnel charges, and they go right in for the wards against fucking Mad.
They're ready for it. They have good position. They know that they're going to be coming to jungle. They see it now. The Fissure's going to be there, and they just walk away. They're not looking to kind of make fisticuffs, not least without having more resources nearby. They're already expecting that the wards are going to be going down. I'm sure fucking Mad's prepared. He's like, okay, they're going to be blocked. All right, this isn't going to be your YouTube sensation, level 7 at 5-minute kind of merry-go-round of the jungle, as he also doesn't really have any sentries on hand. Maybe he was reserving the gold if it was necessary. It is necessary, so he makes the purchase, puts it on the courier. Courier's coming. Thanks for the sentries, courier. Now he will hopefully do the D ward game well. Yeah, we'll see if he gets the call
these
correctly.
Are pretty average wards. They placed them dead center in both the camps essentially. The one thing is this is behind a tree, and he doesn't have a tool to cut it, so might need some assistance there. Shrapnel could also give them vision, but it looks like they're not going to spend their mana that way. Anywho, he'll wait to see if they're blocked. He might lose one spawn because of these wards, but yeah, we see also this pole camp blocked off. This is actually the extra commitment that I didn't fully expect. A lot of times you see a couple wards go down in the jungle against the Enigma, but blocking off the pole camp on top of that, they want to make it so the Earthshaker doesn't get that much experience either.
Yeah, I think that's a smart choice, and it's going to be unexpected, and they definitely won't have a sentry to remove that, so that is guaranteed going to be a pole camp that is not going to be in use. Fluff's going to be here to help out. They quickly go for the D ward. The pings start flying all over the place, and now fucking Matt has a little bit more wiggle room, rather. But I'm still expecting that eHug are going to be going on the aggressive here with these supports. But we are going to have Ryuza join MJW. It's not going to be a solo Clockwork get up here with this Bristle back in the lane. It's not a one-on-one matchup that MJW likes. So he needs the help, and Brax is going to be muscled back here.
Yeah. So, talking about the mid game, this is going to be where things really amp up. I don't know if it's going to be as passive in the early game as the kill count we saw from game number 1, but we are going to be waiting until the ultimates come online for really sparks to start flying. We could see like a surprise Fisher rotation for the Earthshaker, pulling the Storm out of position. Could see a smoke from the 2 supports from eHug, and that could create some potential too. But otherwise, in theory, nobody should be going down too early, or maybe just 1 or 2 kills and not much more. But we still see Demon. He's getting so involved in this lane. He's happy with the Anchor Smash Kraken Shell to clear out a couple of creeps here, and he's actually going to get some decent gold to start him off.
I mean, he's happy as hell. Skywrath's not in his lane. He doesn't have to deal with those arcane bolts and crap. He's just like, I only have to work with a Rubik? No problem. I'll contest this. I'll move forward. I got Anchor Smash. I can take a beating. I got some regen. So he gets involved in some early XP and gold, which he's A-okay with, but he is unfortunately going to be down now to just 1 more Tango. So he goes back to the off lane, and he might not be able to play as aggressive from here on out. He even uses that Tango, but mid lane, nice block onto Yawar, comes out from your Earthshaker, and now he turns over onto Ush here. Ush is going to be forced to step back, but Fluff comes right in conveniently with that haste rune and punches him right in the back, but Ush is the one. Oh no, it just goes to no one. It's just going to be a kill, and that first blood bonus is actually going to be split amongst the team.
Yeah, now Ryuza banding up here. 1 more hit is going to be required, and he will get it with the Arcane Bolt, but taking a lot of return damage from the creeps, dropping down to 15 HP. Unfortunately, yeah, Fluff did not stick around. He went towards the bottom rune region, didn't find anything for himself, and now going to look for a Fisher Snipe, but bottled up by the Storm.
Okay, he's creeping, hoping that maybe he will come across a Ryuza, but Ryuza's already half healed. Uh-oh. He's like, nope, I can't fissure. Now, where's he going to go? He has a TP. He might need to TP the hell out of there. He will. He's like, I can't go back to the other side. I would just get 4 Arcane Bolts to the back and have to go home anyways, so no point. Bottom lane, there's a Telekinesis into the spin. Infinity begins his pirouette session right now, and oh god, Demon trying to find his juke spot. He's done this many a time. Can he find his way out? He will. Used to doing it in the pub scene. All right, gets the TP off, and he will make it. No, he won't! Last second Fade Bolt.
In the last second.
Oh.
And there was hesitation. If he just Anchor Smash 2 the second they were both in the radius, Anchor Smash TP, that's a survive. But rank 1 Fade Bolt doing some deeps, and that is actually a very unfortunate takedown.
Maybe things could have been different if he started that TP in the midst of the trees during the juke instead, but as it stands, it was so close. But no cigar. Demon will have to walk back the walk of shame style without the TP all the way down to this bottom lane. For now, Fluff is there to help out, soaking some of the XP, not making it too much of an uncontested lane. But with that, in the meantime, fucking Mad, who's been working with the jungle, level 3 at about 4 minutes in, you know, not the best ever, but definitely on a solid route. He's got 800 gold, anticipating maybe going for the quick early Soul Ring mechanism in the near future. We'll have to see where he goes from there.
Yeah, but I actually think Fluff's stuff movements are quite interesting. Now that he's already given some support to the Bristle back up top, and he actually is going to TP to 2-2 mid for this particular moment, seeing the Skywrath getting so involved in the jungle. Bristle back under tower, taking a lot of battery salt damage. MJW wants it, but the magic stick is keeping Brax alive so long, he finally brings him down 1 for 1.
Oh, got it. Okay, so it is going to be the 1-for-1 trade, plus the takedown of the Skywrath Mage does make it all the better there for Fire. XP will be awarded, of course, though, to the Clockwork, having the ability to somewhat walk away, but we're evened up now 3 for 3. These teams, they like to go aggressive early, and that's the kind of Dota I like to see, Blaze. So Here we go.
Brack's actually going to give him 1 bottle sip so he doesn't die to like a random rocket flare. Fucking mad. He dropped really low in that engagement.
So he'll be back. He'll be fine for now. There is that soul ring. Plus his own bottle is going to drop it on the floor. Can you fill up my bottle? Or I'll give you your full bottle. You give me a little bit of that bottle. Thank you. We'll share it. Hopefully no one's got mono. Jumping in mid lane though, MJW. Level 6 gets a hold of Ush and takes him down. Very easy work for them. They want a 2 for special. 2 quick jumps forward. You are forced to get the bottled on up, and it's Trouf once again with that Fade Bolt. Gets the job done quickly like that. eHug, fire back and get a nice 2 for none special.
Yeah, Cartona put up a stat there. The last time that Clock and Storm were both picked up against the sniper died like 15, 16 times. So that's kind of setting a precedent here, and it's going to be a really hard game for Ush. He has to... Okay, 13. Not that bad, but still not that substantial. And yeah, he's going to have to play very defensively. He's going to have a lot of reinforcements from his allies. And I guess Fluff, he's been already making his movements. Every time he sees himself in the jungle, he's helping out fucking Mad. Every time Demon's in trouble, he's making his way down that way. So that's why I'm keeping an eye on Fluff as he makes his way down bottom. But for the most part, they just wanted to get Demon some levels.
Yeah, he'll wait in the wings for now and soak up some XP to get himself to level 4, but you're looking on the other side here. Here's Infinity on his Jug at level 7, and he's chopping away at this tier 1 tower. He's got a nice head start for himself. Haven't really seen the Omni Slash have to come out quite yet, but I'm sure he's itchy to get the opportunity. He'll throw up the healing ward
nice
and bring
ward
the sustain.
mid.
Yeah, here we go. Ward aggressive behind. Ush is going to be in trouble. There's the dive forward. Lift follow-up. Helps on the way, but it's too late. Your little flimsy sniper without the escape mechanism. Nice lockdown, though. The fissure's going to connect. Locks 1 support. Yuar could be in trouble as well. The cavalry has come from fire, and they're able to get redemption for their fallen sniper comrade, and they make it a 2 for 1 trade.
Yep, trying to TP out of that, but getting canceled by Fisher. Only the Skywrath will survive, and actually I think that's okay. I mean, obviously the sniper still needs to continue to build up more ways of surviving through this or avoiding it entirely, but overall, getting the return kills is actually pretty valuable. The Storm Spirit won't be just balling out of control.
The unfortunate thing, though, is just, you know, when we go back to him, actually hold that thought for a moment, we got a man fight here top lane. They lay down the cage match right now, and they begin going toe-to-toe. Brack says, show my back, hope for the bristle, but nope, not going to be enough. Calculated, I guess you could say. MJW walks away the winner right there. Very wounded, but the winner.
Yeah, close call with a magic wand, and actually the Belt of Strength is probably what tipped him over the edge there as far as surviving, so that's a really valuable stats to keep him up. He gets the treads. Bristleback, he's actually going to be hurting now. Like, he only has 26 CS in this safe lane. His kill count is 2 kills and 1 assist, so not too shabby, but yeah, he's not going to be, like, on the front line like he wanted to be this game.
You can already just tell by the body language for Ush. He is just like, I can't get near the lane. I have to hope that it's by the tower. And
they might not know about this ward. That's the scary thing.
So they just constantly know he's sitting there waiting, and he's just stuck in a rut. I mean, always that constant watch. You're looking over your shoulder like, oh, Storm Spirit jumping in? Clockwork? You don't know what to do. So you just got to wait and play it extra safe. Maybe you have that buddy nearby. Fluff's there now to help him out, but this is very cautious play for a sniper, and this is when you want to be farming it on up. Bottom lane will touch base with Demon, almost level 6. So Ravage is almost going to be at the available ready here for Fire, where a quick TP, like he already has on hand, and a counter fight could be a big drastic turnaround. But we'll keep our eyes on top lane.
Demon was 6 right now. He needs to get a creep kill because there's going to be a big fight top lane. Yeah. He needs that Ravage. Yeah, he just got it. Quick.
Okay, he got it. He's already got the TP on hand. He's going to need to come top. He starts coming top. Yuar's like, we got to get the hell out of here. Gets Malphus, so he slowed down a little bit, but eHug make the right call. They know this is not the fight for them, but Ryuza is going to get caught with the goo and the fissure, and, well, he is going to be taken down. But they get the jump, they cut off Ush, and he could go down as his team is already trapped on the other side. So he's going to do one trade, but a black hole is going to come out from fucking Mad, and your Storm Spirit's going to get killed. So it is going to be a mid laner and a support down on eHug for the mid laner of Ush. And here we go. MJW, though, makes the jump on the Fluff. He wants support. He will get the support here with the last battery assault tick, but will he make it out alive? He's going to make the run. Cogs in 6 more seconds. Slowly withered away. He will be brought down. And it's going to be Brax who picks up that kill. Back-to-back fights where eHug lose one more than they'd like. So Fire going to be okay with that for now.
Yeah, very active early game here, back and forth across the board, especially now these ultimates are online, and a lot of them are short cooldowns. But yes, I saw in the draft, they banned out the Lion, they banned out the Disruptor, but one ultimate will still take down the Storm. That's the Black Hole. So they lock him down. He was actually a really big kill once again. And if you look at the hero levels overall, like, although eHug are dominating as far as like having the most highest in level 9 Infinity, but the others are not doing too bad on fire. Everybody but the Earthshaker is above level 7.
Rune spawn, bounty at the bottom there for Demon. Top, it's an invis that he's going to hand over to Trouf there. And with that, you will get a full bottle and head right back into lane. He has eyes for mid lane. They still have that ward, and they know exactly where Ush is. And he's like, I'm going to get this guy. Just you wait. Fluff, though, is there now. And Fluff's like, that damn ward's got to go. They definitely know what the hell's happening behind this tower. And Fluff is going to be on the case there. Meanwhile, Trouf is able to scout out fucking Mad here. MJW could hook shot forward here if he wants to get the grab. Oh, man. Oh, but they're already en route. They're already en route. Help is coming from Fire. This might not be an opportunity. Trouf knows that. Very patient play from Trouf. Steps away and says, no can do.
He's going to be under the observer ward, though. They are going to see him, but as far as closing distance there, that's not going to happen. So, Trouf's still looking for his first big spell steal. Probably the Shrapnel is the ideal spell to steal when he had the opportunity on mid, but still waiting to use that Invis Rune for a kill rather than just getting some extra utility. The Earthshaker Fisher is also really big, and we've seen Fluff use that to great effect, but I believe that it could be used the other way. I think eHug could use it for a really powerful initiator.
Got that Quill Spray. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, that's not the spell.
Maybe wanted Goo. Goo's definitely a pretty good one there on Rubik that can help with the slow. But this ward right here, that's what helped out. They saw the body language. They saw MJW try to go towards fucking Mad, and they knew that something was up. And now they get a hold of MJW. Fisher's there. Gush to follow up. He cogs himself, but it's already the snipe. That is what's going to finish him off. Ush gets the grab and some redemption after getting his, well, ass beat earlier. Finally gets himself a kill, now being at 1 and 4. Will walk back, but meanwhile eHug are finding their own trade, trying to add pressure on the mid lane. Oh, they were hoping that maybe they would go through with that TP and get the free Omni Slash, but that's not going to be the case. They get their tier 1 tower. So you're talking tier 1 in the mid lane, and Infinity got the tier 1 and the tier 2 on the bottom. That is
he's had a PvE game so far. I don't think he's actually Omni Slash at all. His only assist is from when Demon was killed off by the Rubik earlier, and since then he really hasn't had much confrontation on the lane. So yeah, he's just building up his farm, and it's not too bad. Phase Boots, Aquila, Mask of Madness, and now we can build up towards, let's say, a Mantis style. There's a couple of different options there. A BKB even could be pretty good this game, but we'll have to see what he has in store.
Yeah, you know, just kind of hoping, like, you know, we've been taking most of these fights as a 4-on-5, and we've been doing okay, which isn't too bad for us considering Jug continues to farm, and they're just kind of hoping that they could show the ace in the sleeve by having this Jug pop out and really be dominant, but they're hoping for by that point, there's not a whole lot of additional farm on the side of Fire. This Bristle could manage to throw together a big tanky build where he will gladly scoff at your pesky little Omni Slash. For now, he does have the reliable Vite booster, so 1,300 life already for your Bristleback, as he will defend this top tier 1 tower. And by then, possibly Ush is able to throw together some bits of early damage. It looks like he's going to be going with the Shadow Blade. He already has the Claymore put into his stash, and even has the Bracer. We're going to ride the Bracer for now, but here we go, top. MJW, Malphus is there. He's able to cogs and walk away.
Yep. So the big thing will be that the Storm Spirit will be picking up a pretty well-timed Orchid, and we'll have to see how he gets to use it. I mean, if he can take the Tide out of the fight to prevent a Ravage until the Kraken Chill pops, that'll buy some nice time there. That obviously Cleansing Black Hole is the biggest thing you can do. And otherwise, just getting an easier gank on the Earthshaker might be what they want. But we're going to see some TPs up top. Demon trying to hide, but the Rocket Flare, I believe, scouted him out.
Okay, the silence is there on fucking Mad. Demon jumps in. Ravage flies out, finishes off Skywrath Mage, and they take Trout. Black Hole's going to help secure the 3rd kill.
Wow.
And they're happy to commit both of those big, bad ultimates just to make sure they can get the upper hand. 3 are going to go down for eHug. Fire now look to maybe push down this top lane and take a tier 1.
Yeah, eHug are crumbling right now. They cannot afford to lose these fights in such a big way. Fire are really just taking it to them, moving smarter, finding the better initiations, and it's going to become a really uphill battle from here. eHug, they already would have trouble ending the game. If you think about what they're up against as far as trying to go for a high ground push, you got the Sniper, the Shaker, obviously Enigma, and the Tide bring a lot to the table too, and now ending the game from behind is going to be nearly impossible. So they have to start considering late game and say, okay, Infinity, how farm can you really get? You got nerfed a little bit in your agi gain on the Juggernaut, but you can still do a lot with 6 silence points.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit of pressure on him because at this point in the game, you're hoping that your Storm Spirit as well is going to be really able to come into fruition and be that snowball kind of a hero and get those kind of a picks. But it's not feeling like that's going to be happening anytime soon. Does have the Oblivion Staff in the early first one. In fact, actually, the second Oblivion Staff is just delivered now. Getting the Orchid, though, and finding the kills, I don't know if it's going to be as easy as he'd like. It just feels like by the playstyle from Fire right now, they seem to be very close and hand in hand. And they have good rotation work, so we'll have to see. eHug, though, if they are able to get that snowball factor, a couple of quick picks, Infinity could build up into a real dominant force. They could sneak a Rosh, and we could have a real ball game on our hands.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be the time where eHug have to make something happen, or they're just going to be completely steamrolled by Fire. They have the superior fights, but they don't have cooldowns, at least for a little bit here. 90 seconds on Black Hole, 35 on the Ravage. And the other thing is that Fluff himself is playing a 5-position Earthshaker. He's been roaming, he's been rotating, so all he can afford this game is Tranquils and Soul Ring. Demon on bottom will be hooked, will be caught with that nice little Ion Cannon, the Mystic Flare Cog combo, and yeah, that is not going to be too difficult for them to retreat from that.
Yeah, pretty easily set up. They have this nice little aggressive Obs ward. They know that Demon's on his own. They know that he committed the Ravage just previously, so they really had no problem using their dynamic duo, the clock set up with the cogs, and then of course the Mystic Flare follow-up from Ryuza just makes it for easy grab, even on your big Tide Hunters. So with that, Fire look to bounce back. Brax is going to be scouting at the Rosh here, and it looks like they're going to go for it. And unfortunate timing though for a pause. And I did see someone say that possibly Steam could be having issues with something, but it looks like they are going to be able to go right back and underway. So Fire making the call to go for Rosh here. I don't know how much damage they got to do this, but with Fucking Mad coming with some Eidolons, it could help.
Yeah, maybe the Urbius come into play here. Right now the Steam is offline for a lot of people, but as long as we don't have a player actually disconnect from the game, it's a good chance that we'll still be able to continue. Assassinate coming out, but no, that's just a threatening one. He's firing some warning shots here, but obviously it's going to be difficult to pin down the Storm. You've got a couple of hard stuns coming in the Shaker and then some ultimates, but overall you really need to commit a lot to make sure that he goes down.
And with that, as Cardota lets us know, potentially what is the value for the positioning of the sniper versus getting the blink and not, but it's going to be the Shadow Blade choice for Ush. They even smoke up. Double Shadow tactics, and they get rid of that ward. So, well, they get spotted doing the smoke, and then they quickly rid the ward. So, not going to really matter to a whole lot. Meanwhile, you got eHug farming, taking away from the Fire jungle here. Yawar has his Orchid pretty much complete now, and Infinity's chopping away at this tier 2. They have been really taking a lot of towers, and there's still a lot of the fruit out there for Fire. They've only taken 1 tower so far, so there's a lot of gold to be had, and you're already seeing that on the net worth graph. It's about 5k net worth lead for eHug.
Oh, nice pick bottom too.
Yeah, good block on the Trough right there. Fluff and stuff sets it up beautifully with the Fissure. Brax comes in. They're going to look to bring him down, or any rotations coming to the tier 1 there is not. It looks like eHug are just going to sacrifice the support and sacrifice the tower.
So, 4-staff actually pick up from Fucking Mad again. I'd love to see this picked up by supports against the Clockwork, making it so that the Flipshot Cogs doesn't mean an instant kill. It's going to be really important for Ush to position in the fights. He certainly won't be able to blink across the battlefield, so allowing him to force out and otherwise just move within the shadows, that's going to be what allows him to actually stay on the map instead of just being picked off over and over and over. We do see the Orchid finally up for the Storm Spirit, plus 1,000 gold. We'll see what he can do with it. In the meantime, Infinity, he's been farming pretty well, and the Sanji Yasha was his item of choice.
So, a little bit extra life, move speed, damage. Get the best of everything right there with your Sanji and Yasha.
Yeah, with Mass Madness active, he's actually at 518 movement speed. Phase tipping him over to max.
Race car mode, something we saw Burning do a lot in DAC, and he put it to strong use. But Infinity has his own kind of playstyle. Still 0-0-1. Blaze, where are my Omni Slashes? Where are my quick picks? My slaughters from your Jug? This is just a straight... I mean, it almost feels like he's an AM at this point. Just lots of intense solo farm time.
He wishes he was an AM, considering the game.
Yeah, right? So he's just making do, just trying to build up more and more of that income. He's got a double stack to work with here, and just hoping that when he does make his debut into the fight, it's as devastating as the farm he put together.
Yeah, right now it's just pretty passive. fucking Mad hiding in the jungle, looking to push whenever everybody's moving in towards mid or top. Because as long as they know that they're keeping their lanes pushed out, Fire can bring this later and later. Their entire objective is to turtle and to take the smartest fights they can. And in that regard, as long as they don't have like a full 5-man force pushing one lane, they can consider just pushing out the others. And this is going to be nice for Brax because he wants to keep farming too. He needs to keep up with the physical damage output that's going to be coming from eHug, though for now he has a casual VIP booster and the BKB, which might allow him to finish off Johnny.
And they move forward. He gets telekinesis, but it's 2-on-1. And by numbers alone, that means that the one's got to go. That one being Trouth is going to be dropped here on the bottom. Another pick there for Fire. Meanwhile, the jump goes forward. Yawar trying to get a hold of Ush. Fluff's there to slow his roll with the fissure. Follow through Ravage from Demon. Get your Earth Pound coming out from Fluff. Echo Slam, rather. And now here we are. There's going to be the Omni Slash, all for Demon. Demon goes down. Meanwhile, MJW TP's the hell out of there. There's no Malphus at the ready. Needed another 6 seconds. Ends up being a 2-for-2 advantage slightly there for eHug as far as net worth trade. But, man, oh man, we waited a while for it. Juggernaut was able to get into the mix at that point, and it all started with Yawar finding the opportunity to make the jump onto Ush.
Yeah, so Ush just kind of getting the short end of the stick for this entire game. He's going to be where all the kills are coming, and yeah, they do get some returns, but he's down 5 times throughout this game. It's pretty frustrating for him, but BKBs are coming out, and this is the big deal. BKB number 1 was just used for Brax. We've got Enigma building up his own. The Sniper probably will look at it after he picks up one more offensive item, or is he? He actually sells his Blade of Alacrity. And we'll have to see if he actually goes for some more tank, because, again, he's the focus here.
And with that, Brax eyeballs mid lane. And we'll have his BKB back up and at the ready about 15 seconds time. Regen's going to be spawning there at the bottom, but more separation of farm coming out. eHug feeling just as comfortable, but as long as Fire have at least one of the 2 big ultimates, it's not going to be too easy to try to move forward and take objectives when you don't really have too much significant vision. We're going to look at it now. You can see for eHug, it's pretty dark as it stands right now. Same kind of goes for Fire, but they have eyes here potentially on bottom. Hook shot's going to be there. Telekinesis shortly thereafter. He's trying to run away. The crit damage, though, coming up from Infinity is just too strong, and your Tidehunter will be brought down. So
and they'll look to rush off that. They need this Aegis on the Storm Spirit, so they can actually maneuver here with the Tide down, and all they have to worry about is the Black Hole. They see fucking Mad top with only a 4-staff. Roche is going to be theirs.
He's going to push down this lane, and then he will have the ability to TP if he wants. But yeah, it is going pretty damn fast. Now that you see Infinity dishing out the right click, it looks like it's going to be eHug on this go-around, able to secure the easy Aegis grab. This is certainly what helped propel Fire in the previous game. eHug looking to do a little bit of the same. It goes right to Yawar on his Storm Spirit. Probably one of the best Aegis holders to have at this point in the game. And now they could feel a lot more comfortable making those kind of dives, even when normally they were going to be trading themselves. Now they can feel a bit more comfortable about it. So with that, Fire, do we play the stall game, Blaze, and just kind of hope we can get that Aegis to expire, or do we do the opposite of that? Once Demon comes back, he will have Ravage ready to go. Do you maybe get a smoke and try to go on the aggressive?
You kind of have to bait the Sniper at this point in time. You know that they're going to keep going on him, especially with the confidence that the Aegis gives them. But if you have enough people rallied to his defense, you can actually turn that as a really good counter initiation. So I'd say you want to take a fight, but you want to make eHug think that they're taking the storm move. You can't just go push out a lane against that Aegis because you know that you're not going to get the initiation you want. But if you let them think that they're catching you off guard, then you can suddenly bring so many resources to the fight that you can actually take them down with 6 lives.
Now we'll see eHug feeling comfortable with that Aegis that they can control the tempo of the game. They'll just take their time to farm and get those next items online. It looks like MJW now about to complete that BKB. Even heads back to base to make sure he can kind of snag it on up. Yawar, 2,500 gold, about saved up from here, so interested to see where he will look to take it. You imagine a BKB might be the choice here for Yawar to make sure you can kind of go on a roll without being brought down from your Ravage and from your other source of disable?
Yeah, I mean, you'd love to have a Hex in this game, but it just doesn't seem like that's going to happen. You need to get the BKB to keep balling, keep active, and I think they're also kind of looking to snowball at this point. Like, they've been playing a farming game for a decent little bit. Their fights haven't been going successfully, but if they all mass up their BKBs and go for one really good timing push, then they still might be able to overwhelm Fire. It really comes down to the fights themselves, and Bristleback getting gone on mid.
Yep, they're trying to clear out the creeps. Brax eats so much of the Omni slash damage, a level 3 Omni, mind you, that even your big bad Bristle's going to be taken down. You are very low. They are able to finish off that Aegis. Demon's in there, but he's going to be doing the dance of the Ravage, but he does manage to force out, and they will preserve the ultimates for now. They lose Brax, their strong Bristle frontliner, and at that could be the expense of their tier 2 tower.
Yeah, so we're going to see the tier 2 fall for sure, but the tier 3 should actually be defensible. No, they're going!
Jump in, Ravage connects on 3, but they're very spread. The black hole's there, but immediately canceled from Yawar with the jump in, and there they go. Funky Mad's going to go down. eHug get the opportunity now to make a big push happen. That is 2 huge ultimates down. That is unfortunate for Fire.
And an absolutely huge steal for Tralf. Getting the black hole from fucking Mad. They get that in their hands with the Blink Dagger, and they can actually push high ground with this black hole. Like, even without the Aegis, they can look at it and find one more opening, use that black hole to its fullest potential, and that is a game-winning move. Like, they could actually take this game within just a couple of minutes if they could make this black hole count.
That's ridiculous. Given the fact he also has a Blink Dagger, for God's sakes, on his Rubik,
exactly.
He could set up the black hole in whatever which way he wants to. So now eHug just very, very confident.
Oh, they smoked under ward, though.
But, yep, they smoke, they move forward, it gets pinged out immediately. Fire, are they looking to pull back? They know exactly where they are, but they're not leaving. They're in trouble. Oh, they used the black hole to get a hold of Demon, and Demon will be brought down. Brax could be next. He's already been silenced up. Telekinesis is there. It's going to be a 2-man takedown. eHug, they're in full control. This is looking like a 180 reversal blaze from last game right now. You get your Aegis, and all of a sudden the game just seems to be yours as you begin to pick up more and more one after the other.
Yeah, fucking man, what are they doing in this positioning? This actually seems very dangerous. Like, they actually, if eHug were all grouped still, they could actually have just been completely obliterated there. But they lose 2, and they're still able to push out their lanes as eHug look to kind of restock. We're going to see a Soul Ring come out for Yawar pretty soon. Sorry, not Soul Ring. A Bloodstone come out for Yawar. He's actually going to get a solo kill here on Fluff, though.
Yeah, Fluff had the sentry down, but he was just dancing outside of that range. One last little pop is going to do it. And Yawar gets the kill. Ownage coming up from your announcer to just make sure Fire know exactly what the hell's happening. It's eHug who are in total control. And, well, according to Cardota, Infinity currently sitting on the 11th highest net worth on a Juggernaut at 25 minutes. So, almost record-breaking. Very impressive nonetheless. This is the payoff, of course, for him going into that PvE mode pretty much through the first half of the game. But now he is definitely ready to rumble.
Yeah, you also have to consider the Roche and the 6 towers they've acquired. All of that adds up to a nice little sum of gold. And he's last hit, I would say, 4 of these towers. So that is a lot of money going in his pocket.
Oh boy, top lane, they make their narrow escape. Brax is not going to get a hold of anything. This is going to be very, very hard for Fire at this point. We're going to get a welcome with a brief pause, apparently, for whatever reason, but they got to wait now for these ults to get back online and just hope they can still use those wombo combo of an ultimates to make the big plays happen. But you're looking at a couple of BKBs now complete. Full 10 seconds on your Infinity BKB. MJW, a 10-second one as well. I feel like the potent potential that they once had with this team fight is not going to be as good as it once was. So this could be a very sticky situation for Fire.
Yeah, we'll have to see if they can keep it cool heads under pressure here. There's a lot going up against them. The BKB has come up for fucking Mad, so the black hole is a little bit more reliable, but there's still 3 things that you have to worry about. The hookshot can still stun you during that ultimate. The usage of Omni Slash, it's really hard to do now because of the reduced range, but it is a spell that does have a mini stun through BKB when you activate it, and the Rubik can also steal the black hole and cancel it with a counter black hole. So really has to be mindful of the Rubik in particular, but also making sure that he centers himself within the black hole in order to avoid the Omni, and perhaps within his team so that he doesn't get hooked.
With that, eHug back, ready to go, but Fire apparently need another moment. But now they're going to be ready. So back underway we go here. And as we left off, this is a big swell of a net worth lead for now as eHug continue to find one after the other. Breaching past the 12k XP is even more dramatic for them. So eHug's sitting very comfortable at this point. Eyes on top lane as Yawar is hoping that maybe Brax could get a little overzealous in the lane. Don't know if he could do it all by his lonesome there, but would love to at least get a few extra shots in early.
Look at Infinity right here. He's actually going to pick up a really huge item, and it's not one that you'd normally expect with the Juggernaut, but potentially one of the best items to get for a late-game Juggernaut build. He is going for the Eye of Scotty, has it completed, sells his Aquila, and buys out for it. And when you consider the fact that he's already running around at 518 movement speed most of the fights, the extra health that this gives him, allowing him to keep Mask of Madness active offensively, the fact that he has a lot of HP because of Eye of Scotty, which is scales well with the healing ward, he can just stay on his targets all game long. He can play it kind of like a Slark and just beat them down, make sure that they can't escape.
So he is going to be a tough cookie to crack. Very big boy at this point. Infinity is definitely looking like the MVP here for eHug at this point. That very patient play was not punished at all in that bottom lane. It seemed like more focus was trying to defend the sniper and make sure he's in a comfortable position. But even then, they were able to get what they wanted. Even eHug, no mercy as they catch the Eidolons trying to get side farm there for Mad, but they quickly take that away and farm of those Eidolons. So Fire got to dig deep at this point if they want to look to make the bounce back kind of a play here. Black Hole and Ravage up and at the ready, but they can continue to play it a bit more passive. Maybe looking to converge, potentially an MJW here in the mid lane. They're locking forward, Assassinate away to fly out, force forward, gets the fissure, but he's simply going to BKB and head on home.
Yeah, they just can't get the stud combos off the way they wanted to, and the Earthshaker can't pull forward. He still doesn't have a Blink Dagger, so you can't just chain stun your target the way with Enchant Totem the way you want to, and yeah, the Clockwork just proves a little tanky. It is going to be a 9-second BKB charge, so it's whittled down a bit, but not sure how much offensive that delays. We're going to see that the Juggernaut will be continuing to play the farm game, probably going for a Butterfly next. Once he gets the Butterfly, going in with the Omni Slash is going to get a lot of hits between, and actually, Yawar going offensive despite just getting ganked. The Mechanism barely keeping Fluff alive.
Ooh, almost got it done, but he gets the mech to keep him alive, and now it's MJW looking to jump back in. Ultimates are here and ready, but Fire are looking to head on out. And looking to cut him off in the pass is going to be Yawar right there. He sees Ush, but now he's going to be welcome. But he has the haste, so he's just bopping in and out and away. And now fucking Mad, to the high ground, but brings Jug with him. Tries to soak it up between the two of them, but he takes both of them down. BKB's going to be popped, and they're going to continue their slaughter now onto Brax. Meanwhile, Ush easily soloed from the Skywrath Mage. It's a bloodbath inside the Fire base. eHug, no regard for the tower situation. They want to finish what they started, and Infinity gets it done there. Where's that fifth one at? It's going to be Fluff. They scouted him on out. Trout sees him. Let's get the job done here. Or do we want to get the job done? He's going to TP away, and they're going to go for mid lane instead. No 5-man wipe, unfortunately. But hey, eHug got a job to do, and they go right down this mid lane, and they're looking to get some shots and take down this tier 3 and possibly some damage on the racks.
Just can't run from this team. Clockwork jumping in, following through. Storm Spear being able to keep moving, and Juggernaut keeping his Omni Slash through the base as they force down to the high ground, and the Scotty continuously slowing during that Omni. Just really, really good movement from eHug, and this is a game where you just can't overstep your bounds. If you mess up on your positioning even slightly, they will pursue you all the way to the well, as we just saw from Infinity. And he's going to have the Basher soon to be Abyssal, and that is going to make it so that you just have to be constantly in the perfect position, or you're going to be picked off, you're going to be gunned down, and all the best laid plans of Mice and Men really won't pan out. If Fluff and stuff had a Blink Dagger right now, I'd feel so much better about their engagements, their fights, but they're going to try to make a play anyways. They're smoking up, they have all their ultimates, but Roshan is already fallen.
Yeah, it's going to be too late. They see this message, and maybe they figure this is the final hurrah. Yawar already jumping in. Could be jumping into trouble, though. He has that Aegis freshly picked up, and it's going to be taken down now. Infinity gets a hold of Mad. Mad could be losing his life. Force away. Miss from MJW. Nice block from Fluff. Fire looking to kind of fight back, but already now eHug move forward. Meanwhile, Black Hole catches out Infinity. They take down the Juggernaut. Now they turn back. Trout could be brought down. Meanwhile, they are able to finish off Fluff and stuff, but look at Fire looking to take the burn right back. They take down Skywrath Mage. Ryuzan will go down. MJW could be next here. A surprise turn of events right after the Roche pit. Demon now moving in. Cog's going to be popped. MJW goes for the TP. Can they stop him? They can't. He's going to make it out and away. It's only going to be a 3-man takedown. But Fire very happy to be able to come out on top.
Yeah, I mean, just using the ultimates very, very nicely there. Even the Echo Slam was worthwhile. I like the attempt from Yawari. He actually used his Bloodstone to provide a very large shield to the team and then immediately respawn with the
Radiant's middle tower
Aegis. But in the end, he just gets to walk away with his full life. They were losing the fight too hard at that point in time. And yeah, I think Fire really just prioritized the right targets and found their opening with that smoke. But moving on forward, they're going to have to fight a little bit more, at least win 1 or 2 more fights before they can feel really confident in this game. They won a couple towers. Right now, Tier 1 and mid still stands. The Tier 2s are pretty healthy. And they actually, I think the most important thing is getting this Blink Dagger on Fluff. Obviously, any items you can get on your right click. Here's the Bristleback the Sniper. Going to be very important. The AC could come out for him, and it looks like crit for Ush. But I think that Blink Dagger is going to be the most impactful thing that Fire can acquire.
Fire take what they can for now, and this is like where I like to say that's just step 1 of what is still a like 7-step program. So,
exactly.
Yeah, they need to make sure they can get a couple of more of those under their belt, but their base already wounded. Rax's mid lane still exposed. eHug could always do the slow siege game. They're not as comfortable as they thought they would be in this position without having the Aegis now, but they still feel comfortable enough that they can just really press the issue here. I mean, you're talking that the black hole is down, and so is Ravage. So this is the best time than ever for eHug to try to make a push happen.
This is actually really good for them. If they can take these racks, they can feel so much more confident in this game, because they have a few actual late-game outliers here. If they get the Aghanim Scepter on Rubik, he can play around with a ton of really good spells this game, and I actually think that there's a lot of potential while the abilities are cooldown, but they're waiting a long time. Demon, he's just charging it up. The Ravage will come soon. Only level 2 out of 3, but it's still a very high impact spell.
I mean, by this point, when a fight breaks out, he'll have it during the fight. Maybe at the back end of it, but there's going to be the fight that breaks out. Brax gets taken down at the drop of a hat. No buyback for him, out for over a minute. MJW moves on forward, and now Ush goes down. Oh, the brief comeback from Fire seems to be fizzled away now. They take down 2 prominent cores who both can't buy back into the fight. This looks like it's going to be Demon moving forward. Possible last hurrah with a Ravage or something. No, fucking Mad's going to be taken down. This might just be good game at this point, Blaze. Fire seem to be extinguished here as eHug just kind of put their arms all around the Fire base and take what's theirs.
And the Ravage just couldn't come out at the right time. They needed a really good one for this fight, and the timing was just about 10 seconds off there. eHug had a moment's hesitation, just would not have gone nearly as successfully, but they pull through, they find the timing, they get the kills, and they actually do it very efficiently. They're still guaranteeing the racks while diving the bus.
There they go, move on to Demon. They want to take him down, but he's still holding and reserve that Ravage, but objective gaming, first and foremost for Infinity. He's able to clear out the tier 3, and now the racks will go down. 2 sets of racks going to be dropped, and it looks like eHug are going to be able to square things back even at this rate. It looked like Fire were very dominant in game number 1, but we are just right back the other way, and what is looking like pretty much a stylistic similar matchup between these two teams, Blaze. But how much do you put into the draft for Fire this game? Going with the first pick Sniper, allowing eHug to pick both big arch nemesis to Sniper. You get the Clockwork, you get the Storm Spirit. At that point, you got to be like, oh boy, this is going to be a long game.
Yeah, the draft really was difficult for Fire. I can see where it definitely can work with really solid execution, but they kind of put themselves up against a wall. It's so easy to gank the Sniper if Fluff isn't constantly in the right position. And then there were 2 aspects of the draft. There was the Sniper opener, which put him in the danger zone against the Clock, the Storm, even the Juggernaut can close really hard. But also, they picked up Enigma Tide, allowing the Rubik through. They actually picked the Enigma into the Rubik, and the Tide was on the field when Trialf got his hero of choice. So, yeah, I think those are the 2 things. The Sniper against the Initiators, and the Rubik against all these big ultimates. He's actually gotten some really good steals, and it's also it's not even just the fact that he's stolen a Black Hole a couple times, it's the fact that Enigma has to play around the Rubik. The Tide Hunter has to play around the Rubik, and they can only get a couple of really clutch initiations this game, which puts them very far on the back foot now, 2 lanes down.
And with that, Fluff is able to find an escape here on the bottom lane where eHug are going to look to parade down for the victory. I'm getting a bit of lag here now, yeah. And it looks like it's the year of the lag beast, at least possibly for now. As everyone is feeling that, we're going to hope that it's just a small hiccup and we can get back underway. Fire definitely down at this point, but I guess I could take this moment, Blaze, and just kind of use my inadequate Dota knowledge to try to theorycraft here. Do you think if they decided maybe to change things up after already seeing what was before them, grabbing the sniper, seeing that they have lots of ways to gap close and get in the sniper's face, would it have been worthy to maybe exchange out the Enigma grab and get something more defensive, an Omni Knight, a Dazzle, something that could be there by sniper's side just in case things get too hairy, or did they have to put more behind this Ravage and have Wombo ultimate? But you might have to hold your answer because they're going for the final hurrah. Bottom lane, there is going to be an engagement. Mad's able to pop his BKB, but the Abyssal's there, and your Enigma is going to get taken down. No black hole for you, sir. You could be in trouble, though. Right click's coming out from Ush, as he's still going to hold strong in the high ground. MJW going to get hit with the Assassinate, but he's still pretty tanky. Ush annihilated, or at least brought down severely from the Mystic Flare. It's a 2-for-1 trade. eHug seem to be repelled back for now, and they might have to wait before they give it a second go. So with that, Fire do hold strong, but they lose their 2 big ultimate, people in both Demon and Mad.
Yeah, they also lose all the Ziggurats, the effigies, and the base. That means the buffer zone for a time that's being assaulting the tier 4s. All those creeps walking into the base that are super creeps, they're going to be able to really start actually chipping away at these tier 4s, chipping away at the throne itself. So this means any prolonged engagement down in the bottom lane is going to cost Fire structural integrity. But still, they're not out of it just yet, but they have 100 seconds on their big cooldown, the Ravage. The Echo Slam wasn't as impactful prior to Blink, but now that Fluff and stuff has that, he really just needs to buy some time. But yeah, as far as the pick there, picking up the Sniper and trying to find another support that can really respond to situations. They opened with the Earthshaker as their second pick, and I think that was really smart. But by having the Lion and the Disruptor ban out, it limits your options. I think Disruptor would have been the ban to go, or sorry, the pick to go with the Earthshaker. But as it stands, Dazzle wouldn't have been too bad. And the
Witch
one
Doctor. I can't remember if Witch Doctor was banned out, but it's a hero that we actually haven't seen today as of yet. Not really any direct counters with the cask, and I guess you could be susceptible to the silence of Skywrath Mage, but I feel like it's kind of tempting there. Clockwork able to kind of put himself into a situation with those cogs. Then again, he has Blade Mail. These are just questions. We don't really know how things could have gone. It's just kind of if, ands, and buts, but for now, it just seems like the draft thrown together for Fire just doesn't seem to be working as well as they'd like, or at least eHug put together a draft that just had the answer to Fire's start.
Certainly did. Yeah, I think the Witch Doctor would have fared even worse than the Enigma, because at least the Enigma gets the burst here from the mech. The Voodoo Restoration takes a really long time to get involved, and I don't know, I feel the Enigma adds more presence to their draft, but it's still a really hard draft to go up against, and honestly, like the Clock, UR, MJW have been playing really well, and now he's got an Aghanim Scepter on Clockwork. I mean, this is pretty insane. Getting the potential to initiate multiple times in a fight, 12 seconds there, and I want to mention that the Abyssal makes it really hard for fucking Mad to get any black holes off whatsoever, because during the Omni Slash, even if he activates it before the black hole starts, he can still use the Abyssal Blade on fucking Mad. You can use items while bouncing, and if you're close enough or you're hitting him, that's the time. But I like this play here. This is kind of a last hurrah for them. Midnight hour, waves pushing in, go for the smoke, try to wipe them out, and get back control of the map.
They're going to have Brax go out in front as maybe potential bait, but eHug see this, and they're kind of like, that seems a bit peculiar. They have Yawar instead, adding pressure on the mid lane. Fire trying to do what is the definition of a YOLO smoke at this kind of a point, but they're not finding anyone to really YOLO on, and with that, they'll have to hustle all the way back to the base where they are still getting pressured in. And this is where it becomes a game of tower defense as they just try to slow these creeps and bring it back to the fountain. Just waiting out till eHug make their charge in hopes that maybe they could dish out a Wombo combo set of ultimates and bring the game right back. But if eHug want to, they could play it slow, wait for the Roche, get the Aegis, and then look to put a lid on this game.
Yeah, the creep boys are just way too pushed out for that smoke gambit to really pay off, and I actually think that fucking Matt's potential to really do what he wants in this game is limited entirely based on where the Rubik is. Trout now has an Aghanim Scepter, and if you want to highlight that real quick on stream, if you zoom out and highlight the spell steal, the radius of that spell, the range of that spell is absolutely insane. You can get it from almost a full screen away.
Yeah.
And that is...
And it's blink, so that's a guaranteed grab, without a doubt. And if you get a black hole, that amplifies it that much more. It's going to be easy here for Trout. Just make sure he doesn't get caught from the initial onslaught, given he doesn't have a BKB, and then you just get the simple blink in, and you're probably going to get what you want at that point. So Well, this is more pressure on Fire and what seems like a slim to none kind of a chance at making the comeback play. We've seen lots of comebacks, don't get me wrong, Blaze, in the last couple of days, but this would be a big one if they could do it.
Really, really tense moments here, but I think eHug are going to look for the jugular pretty soon. This last Rosh going to be spawning within... Oh, it's actually the maximum Roshan respawn timer here. They've got about 35 seconds to wait, and then it will be on the field. The Aegis, the cheese, everything. And they're just laying the groundwork right now. Warding, dewarding, taking care of business so that this can be the stage set for the final fight.
Fire just trying to create as much space and add as much time on the clock as they can. Maybe hoping to get their... Well, they get Demon to level 16, so he gets his level 3 Ravage. Mad already had his at level 3, but Mad might be dead. They have MAW to catch him off. BKB's pop, but by then it's just too late.
Those were some cogs.
He's done for. And, well, he has no money for a buyback, so Fire going to be doing their last defense without a black hole, unfortunately.
That was definitely not intended, but the way the Force Staff pushed him into the cogs, like usually you get knocked away from them, he got knocked back into them multiple times over because of the fact that there was a giant cliff right there. So very unfortunate for him. No buyback whatsoever, and that might just be the game breaker.
Blink, Telekinesis, Ravage flies, won't do a whole lot, and it looks like Fire are going to be done. eHug move forward, and they look to seal the deal. It's laggy. Slideshow victory coming out for eHug, but they're going to square things off 1-1. We have a Dota series on our hands, Blaze, because now we got to see if Fire can bounce back in game number 3.
Yeah, that Enigma pick off was huge, and although I think Demon failed to get the blink off because of lag, I don't think Ravage would have changed the fight there or changed the game. Team eHug absolutely earned this win, and with it, 1-1, we're at the equalizer here, and maybe take a few minutes of break for the Year Beast to calm down, but I can't wait to see what strats come out in Game 3. I think the Sniper probably just needs to stay in ban territory for Team Fire. eHug already have their obligatory Wisp ban. Fire can pick up their obligatory Sniper ban, and they'll kind of proceed from there.
And with that, eHug get their win. MVP, I would have to say Infinity, pulling together lots of farm on his Jug. 11-1 performance for him. And we'll be moving on in a couple of minutes' time. And exactly as you said, we'll try to make sure that maybe the Year Beast kind of bodes over a bit and we don't have to endure a lot of serious lag. But we do appreciate everyone coming out and sticking around. Show your love and support here on Beyond the Summit. Hit that follow button, and you can catch us on our Twitters at KotLGuy, at BlazeCasting, and for our stats man at KartDota. We'll be back in a couple of moments with another Dota matchup between eHug and Fire in this best of 5 North American Qualifier Final. Take care.